So I can't really use my camera right now for whatever reason. I'm not sure what's going on with it. But this is not financial advice. This is just a video on what I'm noticing in the markets, and what I've noticed in general, like throughout the economy. And I know the stock market and the economy are not the same, and they never will be because the stock market is irrational. Irrational to the downside, rational to the upside. Right now, we're having maybe a little bit of irrationality to the upside, but it is also fueled, you know, by the top companies' earnings, right? And aside from Tesla, you're and even Apple, but what's Apple doing? It's one of the biggest, if not the biggest weight in the market, right? For the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq. Apple just comes out and announces a $110 billion buyback, largest buyback in history. And so they're such a weight. And then you got to think about like Microsoft, Meta, NVIDIA, Amazon, Google. They all had freaking good earnings, even though NVIDIA hasn't not yet posted Q1 earnings. We already know they're going to be phenomenal. Let's be honest. When every single big tech company except Apple comes on and says, hey, look, we're buying as many of NVIDIA's chips as possible. And then, SK Hynix says that all their chips, their memory chips are sold out, and NVIDIA is buying 80%, and they're all sold out to near the end of 2025. That's a big deal. When they say that, NVIDIA is gobbling them up, that means NVIDIA has demand through the roof, and they need those for their AI chips. All right? The HBM3s. Okay, the HBM3Es. Let's be honest, that's what it's called, right? I wish I could put my face on this video, but I can't. Anyways, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down something I've really been noticing a lot lately, and it's kind of concerning. And I think a lot of people are overlooking it, saying that the unemployment rate has only ticked up to 3.9%, whatever. You know what they can do? They can manipulate numbers however they want and make it look different or better than it is. Let's be real honest, because what I'm about to go through here is a lot of job cuts that have been happening in 2024 and late 2023. And how is that going to affect the economy? And I'm going to get into some things. So Tesla, April 2024, 6,000 job cuts. Bristol Myers Squibb, April 2024, 2,000. These are going to all be April 2024s. I'll tell you when it's not 2024 anymore. Southwest Airline, April 2000. Apple, 600 job cuts. Quaker Oats, 500. Hartford Public Schools, 400. Lightspeed Commerce, I don't even know who they are, 280 job cuts. Metro Bank, 1,000. It's in the UK. PwC Australia, 366. Spruce Biosciences, they probably fought failing, but 21% of their workforce is gone. Lumiton, 750. And I don't know all these companies. Alshaya Group, 2,000. Expedia, 1,500. Northrop Grumman. I'm just going to go through all the way to 2023. 1,000 for Northrop. Sony, 900. Continental, 7,150. Cisco Systems, 4,000. ThyssenKrupp, 2,370. Nike, 4,800. Estee Lauder, 3,100. Ford, 2,100. Miele, 2,700. UPS, 12,000 for UPS. That should be like super duper concerning. Now, I've been knowing about this because they said in an earnings call for Q4, right? Deutsche Bank, 3,500. American Airlines, 656. Okta, 400. Microsoft, 1,900. Lloyd's Banking Group, 1,600. Vallejo, 750. eBay, 1,000. Salesforce, 700. Corning, Inc., 1,000. Their manufacturing company. Tata Steel, 2,800. Macy's, 2,000. Wayfair, 1,650. Bosch, 1,200. Truist Financial, 1,000. Mastermind, I don't know who they are, 272. Google, 1,000. Citigroup, 20,000. GDI Integrated Facilities, 1,867. Unity Software, 1,800. Twitch, 500. Kelly Moore Paints Company, 700. Johnsonville, 400. Enphase Energy, 340. Telefonica, 3,421. Xerox, 15% of their workforce. Bolt Earth, 20% of their workforce. Google, in December 2023, 30,000. Telefonica, another 3,400. Paytom, 1,000. PT Waskita 500. Now, these aren't all in the U.S., but this is just, major companies with layoffs. Agilent Technology, 400. ShareChat, 200. Hasbro, 1,100. Sheffield Hallam University, 1,700. State Street Corp, 1,500. General Motors, 1,300. Cruise, 940. Elite Italia, 3,000. Spotify, 1,500. GAC Honda Automotive, 900. Right? And I could keep going. Stellantis in November, 6,400. Anyways, so and I could keep going, and this is all the way to November of 2023, right? I want to look at another article I pulled up. I guess. Hold on. Dang. Well, we'll just look it up. But this is another article I had pulled up, and I want to talk about what companies experienced massive layoffs in 2024. Who's making cuts so far? Already in 2024, companies across the nations have experienced massive layoffs, some hitting close to home in Louisville. Companies like UPS, Microsoft, American Airlines, Business Insider, and Sports Illustrated are all experiencing employment losses, with some significantly more than others. Here's a breakdown of what companies have experienced layoffs in January 2024. Humana to have limited layoffs. Louisville-based healthcare insurance company Humana announced it will have limited layoffs on January 16th. The impacted positions represented a small percentage of our total workforce and were geographically dispersed across multiple locations, Humana spokesperson Mark Taylor said. All right. UPS with 12,000 job cuts. Now, I'm a UPS driver, and they're doing it. They're cutting plenty of people. UPS, with its largest sorting and logistics facility based in Louisville, announced its plans to reduce its worldwide workforce by 12,000 positions this year, the Courier Journal reported. 2023 was a unique and, quite candidly, a difficult and disappointing year. We expected declines of volume, revenue, and operating profits in all three of our business segments, UPS CEO Carol Tomé said. Some of this performance was due to the macro environment, and some of it was due to the disruption associated with our labor contract negotiations, as well as higher costs associated with the new contract. Or, if you ask me, she came out and she said better not bigger when she took the job. And so she turned down customers like Target for more packages and probably others that I don't even know about. Let's be honest. Carol's been a disaster as CEO. And let's be honest. Carol has been a disaster as CEO. Me being a tractor trailer driver who also did package car, who also did over the road, who also has done, multiple other jobs at the ups, I would be well more prepared to be the CEO of this company before Carol Tomé would ever be qualified to be the CEO of UPS. Let's be honest. She is not qualified. I can run numbers. I know how the business works. Like, I really know how the business works. I know how to get customers. I know how almost every facet of the business works. And this lady ain't probably touched a single box. How is she even qualified to run a freaking shipping company? She's just not. And let's just be honest. It's because of her that we have had this monstrous problem with the company. Let's be honest with that. Anyways, I'm going to keep going. Carol Tomé deserves to be fired. She should be let go. She should no longer be the CEO. All right, Microsoft to lay off 1,900 workers. Microsoft announced plans to lay off 1,900 employees at Activision Blizzard and Xbox on January 25th. The layoffs represent about 8% cut of its video gaming staff of 22,000 workers and come months after Microsoft acquired Activision in a blockbuster deal. The $69 billion transaction in October represented one of the largest tech deals in history as Microsoft took over the studios behind best-selling games like Call of Duty, Diablo, Overwatch for its X game console. eBay eliminates about 1,000 jobs. In a memo to employees, eBay's president and CEO Jamie Lennon announced that the company would be laying off workers and eliminating about 1,000 jobs. In addition to the 1,000 jobs eliminated, or about 9% of full-time employees, eBay is scaling back to the number of contracts it has with its alternative workforce over the coming months. American Airlines to lay off 656 employees. American Airlines announced the layoff of hundreds of employees while the company seeks to reorganize and improve its customer service team, according to the airline. Today, we announced the updates to our contract center organization that will help us better serve our customers. As part of these updates, we are creating a new customer success team that will be dedicated to providing more convenient, elevated support to American Airlines. Customers with some of their most complex travel needs, the airline said in a statement, blah, blah, blah. Wayfair, to cut over 1,600 employees. Online home goods retailer Wayfair announced that it is laying off 1,650 employees. The cut represents 13% of global workforce, an effort to save more than $280 million annually. The changes announced today reflect a return to our core principles on resource allocation, such as getting fit on spans and layers, as well as focusing on highest priorities. All right. Twitch cuts about 35%. Amazon's live streaming platform, Twitch, announced it would cut 35% of its workforce. As you all know, we have worked hard over the last year to run our business as sustainably as possible, wrote Twitch CEO Dan Clancy in a blog post. Unfortunately, we still have work to do to right-size our company, and I regret having to share that we are taking the painful step of reducing our headcount by over 500 people across Twitch. All right. Google eliminates hundreds of jobs, and we talked about earlier they eliminate 30,000 in December. Okay, so we're just going to keep moving. Well, let's see what they have to say. Company is cutting back jobs as a part of restructuring effort to support small and medium business. It says in its advertising sales team, the company confirmed to USA Today, right? And go over that. Business Insider lays off 8%. Sports Illustrated, nobody cares about those two because nobody reads Business Insider, let's be honest. And Sports Illustrated, what do they got? The Swimsuit Magazine? Nobody reads their magazines. And if you do, dude, find a better use of your time, to be honest with you about that. Don't spend so much time reading about sports. You got better things to do, unless you're like a sports broadcaster or somebody who does something like YouTube videos on sports. Then it makes sense, right? But focus on something better for yourself. I know that sounds a little rude, but just being honest with you, man. Like, if anybody even watches this anyways, I don't know. Yeah, that's a big deal if you ask me. So what does this make me think about? All right. This makes me think about a few very, very large problems. Where are these people going to go? You know what I mean? To get new jobs. They're not going to find them quickly. A lot of companies are talking about hiring freezes. A lot of companies are talking about a lot more cuts. We didn't even talk about PayPal or Nike in there. You know what I mean? PayPal cut 2,500 or plans to cut 20. Nobody talked to. I didn't see in the other thing that Meta freaking is cutting 10,000 jobs like they said they were. This is going to be crazy. Like, if you think about like the significance of contribution from 401ks to the market, if you think about the significance of contribution from these people's wallets, you know what I mean? From these people's wallets to the economy in a meaningful way, people are going to cut back on spending, and I already have. I don't know. I just wanted to put that out there like that. Anyways, y'all have a good rest of your day.